Sometimes the woman will use the child or the child support or even seeing the child as a weapon against the man that she's no longer in this relationship with.
For her to deny me access to my son so that we could sit down and talk is the worst feeling in the world.
And then my license was suspended. And my license is the only way that I make my money.
We have to maintain a job. If we don't pay child support, we don't maintain a job, we go to jail. If they don't, we just get hit with more money.
So then they sent me a letter and told me that I was in violation of the child support order because I accepted money from him. And I explained to them that I needed the money because I was not working.
Because the system playing us, it's a money game. They don't care nothing about the kid. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I've met men, fathers, if you will, in the child support issue that's sleeping in cars because they can't afford to pay rent because of child support. You know, it seems like the system is enabling dysfunctional families rather than to restore them.
You know, they need to be drug testing these women and giving them a psychiatric evaluation consistently.
Try to be a little more civil so that this man that you're calling a deadbeat dad can at least have a chance.
Don't ever go to child support in Georgia. That was packed. I mean packed. It looked like a Sunday service.
If you're on child support, you can look for no love, period.
But if you're like working and making like $40,000 a year, it's impossible to pay 17% of that. If you have rents, specifically in New York, that are coming out for a one-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn is going for $1,400. How could you pay $1,400, pay for the kids' food, pay for the kids' insurance, and in addition, survive?
I had one son who was diagnosed with cancer. Was treated for that, and initially was not allowed to have contact with him during that time because of this investigation. And the objective of my wife and her family is to completely remove me from my children's lives.
She didn't want to share her children with him, and she would relegate him to the basement. He could come home, he could get washed up, he could say hi to the children, and then he could go to the basement.
Approximately 13 states in this nation that require mothers to give an accounting upon the request of a father for how the money is being utilized. And in those states, the benefit there is that a father gets a chance to really see that the money that he's taking out of his paycheck every week and that he's working so hard to give to the mother is actually going to the right purpose for the benefit of the child.
And what is the logic behind costing them their job, throwing them in jail, and potentially making them unemployable by virtue of how long they've been jailed? In a word, it's stupid, okay? And even politicians have agreed with me that it makes no sense to take a gainfully employed person who is working, and there's just a dispute now over how much they need to pay on a frequent basis. Why not just stretch the payment period? That's one option. Or if it's affordable for this person to increase the amount that's being deducted rather than take away their freedom and their employability.
Once she feel a child support paper, I own her husband or boyfriend. Okay, she leave them with the child support agency with her signature on it. Okay, and she go home thinking she done did something smart. What they do to those documents, they send them to the Department of Commerce, and that activate the bearer bond on that child. And $150,000 monetary value is attached to that bearer bond. They use it to trade out on the stock market every day.
I feel like if you're working and they taking your money at the same time, why would they want to arrest you and make you lose your job, make you lose your house or your apartment? Then you have to start all over again, and they still want you to pay the money when you get out, and they'll give you 90 to 120 days to do in jail. I was never offered another court date so I can verify my income so they can base it on my real salary. This is a civil matter, so I'm being incarcerated over a civil matter, and I thought that it was unconstitutional to hold a person in incarceration because they couldn't afford to pay something.